This video will cover the secret of getting a great Wurlitzer electric piano patch with 4-operator FM synths. Although I'll use this V50 in the video, the settings I will make will be the same with other 4-operator models like the DX21 and TX81Z. When I mentioned the Wurly patch to a young engineer who helps me, he seemed not to know what the Wurlitzer electric piano was. For those who don't know, the Wurlitzer or Wurly were popular with bands in the 70s. It's similar to the Rhodes, but without the tine bell-like sound. If you don't have a vintage FM synth that can use the new 4-operator patches, Heavy Doc brought to my attention that the VOPM emulation of the Yamaha Synth can use the patches. There is a link in the description. Before I get started, I'll admit the frustration by the lack of views of my last video. I spent over 40 hours to create original contrast between technological and natural environments. I thought it was more compelling than my one video that got over 60,000 views. I'm struggling despite the quality of my work. I just came across an interview with John Chowling, the pioneer of FM synthesis.
+2. So the one that's 4, like that, this top one modulates, the next one modulates, the next one, finally the carrier. It's impossible to predict thousands and thousands of possible of components if no one of them have the same number.
His statement is so relevant because it reflects an assumption that FM could not create the emulations of acoustic instruments. There was a limited view of the potential of the technology for years. The specialists without spirit left the field open for me to kick butt. A carrier with 3 modulators were needed for a realistic oboe. But since I'm not a social media parasite, it's difficult for people to take notice of my labor. To get the most out of a piano patch, you will need to know how it was designed. I think this video will be a good introduction of how to work with FM synthesis. The Wurly patch began as the off-the-matrix Rhodes patch. I changed the decay of the envelopes of the Rhodes for a significant change in tone. The patch uses algorithm 3, which is arranged with 1 carrier and 3 modulators. The first carrier and modulator produce a hollow tone, a bit like a clarinet. The tone comes from the modulator being set to a frequency ratio of 2. Now by turning on operators 3 and 4, the distinctive biting tone is added. By raising the output level of operator 4, the tone can be made much brighter. But the first change to get more of a Wurly sound from the Rhodes patch is to lower the velocity sensitivity to +3 for operators 2 and 3. Next, go to the envelopes page of operator 2 and set decay rate, lower the decay rate 1 to 19, and lower the decay rate 2 to 6. This is a sweet spot, so making a change to this will make a big difference. And then you go to the operator 3 page and lower operator rate 1 to 14, and that's it for the envelopes. And for the last step, go to the output page and raise the output level of operator 2 to 85. And I'll turn up the modulation for some tremolo. The way the patch responds to velocity makes it very expressive. It would take a lot of samples responding at different velocity levels to get such dynamics. Some of these patches were formed over 30 years, so they are well worth the $9. If you don't have a vintage synth, there's a link in the description to the 4-operator FM software.